Yo, 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 what is up, guys? Welcome back to another recap video with your boy Steve-O. So today, I traded FGI, and the reason why I traded this, somebody asked me earlier, to kind of give more of a explanation on why I chose this stock specifically and why I decided to trade it. So this morning, if you weren't watching, top gainers were KSCP, I believe, FGI, and we had N, II, and N. So those were the three top gainers this morning. KSCP went crazy on Friday, and then today it was like in the 25s, and Friday it was like, I don't know, 6 to 10, somewhere there. But the locates were too expensive. They were like $1.70 per 100 shares. So yeah, it was not for every share. So technically that would be $170 for 100 shares. So it was just, I'm just like, to me that's not even worth it. So already automatically I removed that off the list. IINN was also hard to borrow. I tried locating for it, but I couldn't. So right away, and then it was like the pre-market chart wasn't really set in stone yet. It was more, it was like barely starting to run, but it made a pretty decent move pre-market. But either way, FGI was basically my last resort. And something about FGI pre-market chart I kind of liked was because, first of all, you have the range. It went from 4 to 789. That's almost 100%. At 8, it would be 100%. Well, I mean, technically, it probably did go because Friday it was in the 3s. So from 3 to 6 is 100%, and then so forth. You get the idea. But so basically, what I start off by doing, or what I did, was define my pre-market high, my pre-market lows, and then my supports, and then my inner resistance lines. So first things first, you have this 480 support right there because of that low, and then you also have this 513 support, 513, 515, 520. And then my first resistance line that I see is 570. And then from 570, I kind of go by the half dollar, or not half dollar, whole dollar, half dollar levels. So then from 570, the next key level is 6, because $6 psychological level. And then you got this 640. See that previous top, 640? So you got 640, but you could just round it up to 650. So then that's why I just kind of, you could do 640, but for this case, let's just round it, so 650. And then your next key level is going to be 7, whole dollar. So 650, 7, whole dollar, half dollar levels. And then after that, you basically got your pre-market high, which is 789. Which I was kind of like, maybe it gets to 7, but I don't know about 750. So anyways, my plan to start scaling in was going to be at this 570 level, or resistance. But before the market opened, it kind of started breaking support and it started looking weak. So they were making it look weak on purpose. And I've seen this before where they kind of break support and then it ends up like reversing, and then you see some volume, and then boom, they ramp it up to these previous resistance levels. So let's zoom in, let's get into it, let's break it down, tell you exactly why I entered, where I entered, and what my thought process was. So first thing I noticed right out the open, you see you got your support break. It broke, and then I was like, damn, I'm probably gonna miss this trade though. But then I was just like, I'm gonna wait. But since it was already all the way down here, I figure, alright, it's near 5. If I want to start scaling in before that 570, I'll do it at the 550, only because, you know, $half level again, and then you got support at 5. So if I'm using 5 as my potential target, then I want to be scaling in at least 10% above that level, and then, you know, work my way up until it starts to break down, and then start adding on my way down. So it's like start shorting front side, so this is front side, and then continue to add on the back side, if that makes sense. So you see right here we had this little halt. It halted up, but since I scaled in here at 550, the next key level in my head, I was thinking, alright, I'm gonna play this every quarter level. So I did 550, order at 575, and then one at 6. I had one at 625, but for some reason it didn't fill here, so I don't know, I didn't get a fill. So once that 625 was kind of failing, and then it kept hanging around the 6, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna add another one right here at 6. We're still at the top, and shorts are probably panicking right now. So when they're panicking, when there's a lot of emotion, I want to start getting involved, or I want to start adding into my position that I'm already building, and it's higher than my first two, which is going to eventually bring up my average. That's the idea with scaling, to bring up my average, but scale with the proper size that I don't get shaken out, or I'm not scared to get, you know, shaken out, basically, or just for me to not have my stop so tight. Your risk is your stop, not your size. Or your risk is your size, not your stop. Said that backwards. So once this $6 failed, and then you see my little ad right there at 5. So that was my 575 ad, and then you had this level. So once it broke back under that 575, I was like, alright, well, I already have orders all the way up here. I'm gonna just add, since it's breaking this first resistance level, it's breaking back under that first resistance level. So when it's doing that, that's telling me, alright, it's bearish now. The tables have turned. Longs probably sold, so now selling pressure is going up. Therefore, the stock price is going down because everybody is selling, trying to take their profit. So then me as a short, now I'm trying to get involved even more and possibly see a continuation to the downside after that morning, the morning run. So now you got 570 to 6 key resistance area, or zone, whatever you want to call it. And then the next level, I was like, alright, 550. Once it breaks under 550, I'll add more. So then that's what I did. Broke under 550, I added more. then it's kind of 550, 540, and then I was like, alright, I'll add at 540 only because it's close to 550, but I'll add if it pops into 570, 580, maybe even 6 if it tries to, retest 6. But it didn't. It just kept looking heavy. And then I noticed there was this consolidation right here. So you got this. So then I threw out an order. So we got 520. So 520, 540. So then 520, 540 became like little consolidation area. But I was like, alright, I'm going to start covering as soon as we get this breakdown under 520. So I started, put an order out at 515. And then I was waiting for 510, 495, 490. But it kind of reclaimed. And then I was like, alright, it's going to try to probably retest that 540. It did. But as you can see, it failed. Right here, I was about to add this one back at 550. But it didn't get there, so I'm like, alright, this thing's looking weak at 540. So there was a lot of selling at 530, 540 area. And then as you can see right here again, retested 540, but then also there was this small little trend line forming, higher lows. And I basically was like, alright, I'm just gonna throw out my orders and leave them spread out below that 520 in case we get that break. And basically I was kind of thinking, alright, we could probably see a move back under 590 because that was the low of the day. So I was looking for that low of the day break. So I just spread out my orders around there and near 5. And I mean, it ended up going to 450, but I was thinking more of like 480. I wasn't over greedy myself to think, alright, I'm gonna hold this all the way to 450. But also I was looking for a 10% move with all my orders all the way over here and spread out all the way at the top of the chart. I ended up having like a 570 average, so 10% move down with the 570 average puts me at like what, 510 maybe. So at 510 I'm basically up 10% on my position, and anything below that is basically extra 10, 12, 15%. Well, as I scale out, my average becomes the middle of where I scaled out. So let's say 5. So I ended up getting somewhere around 10 to 12% on this entire move. And that was basically that was my plan. That was my overall goal on this trade, was just to get in, add to the winner, and then get out as it continues to break down. And yeah, I mean, we got this pull right here. And the funny thing was, I wasn't even at my computer when this pull happened, so I didn't even see it happen. I was freaking over there making food, and then I just look at my phone, I look at the price of FGI, and I'm just like, $5? I'm like, it was just at 530, and I come back running, and this thing freaking filled most of my orders, and then I just had 2 left, and basically, this is where it caught that right there. And then that was it. That was basically the entire trade. So it worked out. It worked out as planned. Couldn't really have asked for more on this trade. So as you can see now, looking at the bigger picture, you can see this move over resistance fails. See these top wicks starts to fail here, breaks down, and then consolidation, and then boom, pull the rug, breakdown. And that was it. That was pretty much my trade. Can't really make it any more simple than that. But yeah, if you made it this far, comment down below if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like this video if you enjoyed how I explained it. Feel free to join my Discord. The link will be in the description below. If you want to join that, I give all my pre-market watch list plans ahead of time, so everybody knew what I was already going to do in this trade before the market even opened. So if you want to see more of that, feel free to join, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.